The Night of the Scissors is an atmospheric horror game with survival horror elements developed by Tomás Escónaga. The game follows the precarious journey of Adam, a burglar who is intercepted and hunted down by a mysterious killer called the Snipper. The game begins with you exploring a post office in the dead of night. Shortly after going through the shutter entrance, you realise that you are in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a scissor-wielding psychopath. The narrative is basic, but a lot of thoughtful flourishes are added to keep the game's world interesting. Newspaper articles that flesh out the killer's history and explain aspects of the environment are often found, adding to the lore without over-explaining. Although Night of the Scissors has a good sense of intrigue, the story would benefit from more set pieces or cutscenes to break events up into segments. This would also give the game some more variety in its storytelling approaches. In terms of functionality, the game plays similarly to survival horror games from the PlayStation 1 era. The twist is that it focuses on hiding from the killer in between solving puzzles, rather than engaging in combat sparsely while managing resources. Ultimately, your options are to run or hide. The gameplay is simplistic but rewarding and engaging enough to sustain the game's short span. The game is presented in a low-res fashion. Although there are obvious limitations, the environments feel well designed and detailed. It's easy to distinguish areas in the map from each other, and everywhere you go has a thick atmosphere. A VHS static effect is consistently featured throughout the game. At first it appears to be purely aesthetic, but this effect actually intensifies when the Snipper is aware of your presence. The camera mode can be set to cinematic. This is a mode that tracks your movement using a planned sequence and is more reminiscent of the original Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. You can also play with the camera tracking behind you in a more modernised but less creative way. It goes without saying that the cinematic camera mode offers an experience more attuned to the game's influences and is likely the way that the dev intended the game to be played. Simplistic yet thoughtful choices also bleed into the sound design. Heavy footsteps and scissor snips often cut through the stark silence. The inclusion of music is minimal. Some situations would potentially benefit from an ambient track, but having less music helps you focus in on the killer's movements. As a side note, the retro synthwave track by Sculptor that plays over the final credits is excellent. For a very cheap horror game, The Night of the Scissors is well worth the price of admission. Its biggest downfall is that it's cut too short. It would be great to see it used as a basis and expanded into a bigger project in the future. Although the storytelling could be more varied at times, the attention to detail and well thought out decision making in terms of game design make it a respectable entry in the niche category of short atmospheric horror games.